right, here's the 411, folks.
Welcome back to the 411 podcast. I am Pat Daly. Welcome back to the virtual studio. To my left, Mr. Michael Quattromani.
Oh, Pat, it is a pleasure to be here.
Woo, feeling good. Little difficulty with Will tonight. Got a lot of work to do, but he'll be back next podcast. It's just gonna be the two boys tonight, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Mike, how we doing, bro?
I mean, it's season 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy season 3. We're back. We're ready. We got a big off season, and what better way to start off with a mock draft? Let's get going. We're pretty much going to go through every single pick in the first round. Break it down. What do these teams need? How do you think? What pick do you think they're going to take? And what do we think they should take?
And by the way, I mean the hot takes are going to be flowing throughout the podcast. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Mike, per usual.
Per usual. No changes here. It was a 2-month break, but it's still the same 401 podcast. Let's get right into it.
Welcome back. We're ready to go. Let's get right into it. With the draft in 3 days? 2 days? 3 days?
28th. So this will be uploaded probably a day or two. Yeah.
Unreal. We'll get you live, some live input right before the draft. Let's get right into it with a very difficult first pick.
Oh my God. I know.
Jaguars. I think everybody knows where the Jags are going here, and that's my man Trevor Lawrence.
Jeremiah Owusu.
Yeah. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, come on. Trevor Lawrence is going 1. He's the best quarterback in the draft. I saw a few rumors saying that he's not. I actually laughed out loud. I had an audible laugh.
Right, and you know what, Mike? I remember just like last year, like, oh, are the Bengals not taking Joe Burrow? It's the same, just lore. It's the same noise. Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
He's a generational talent. I think he's going to be ridiculously successful in the NFL, and he's NFL ready. And
I think Jacksonville's doing a really good job setting him up, I will say.
You know what? I can't say that a lot of prospects in the first round are NFL ready. Some of them aren't yet. They can get there. A lot of players aren't ready, and then they get there.
Especially the quarterbacks, I'd say. The quarterbacks, I'd say probably only 2 out of 5 of them are quarterback ready. 3 of them are going to need time to develop. I'm not saying they're going to be awful their freshman year if they play, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I got Trevor Lawrence. I don't think there's any arguing that. Great arm strength, great movement in the pocket, obviously. He's being compared to Andrew Luck. Like, dude's a stud. I miss Andrew Luck, by the way.
I know.
Such a bummer. Yeah, we got Trevor Lawrence at 1. I don't think there's much disputing that. Jets fans, will this be your saving grace? Let's find out. I think it's Zach Wilson all the way. You don't. Oh, okay. So you're not confident.
No. I'm answering your question. Will it be their saving grace? It will be Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson will go number 2. That's almost as obvious as Trevor Lawrence, almost, but it's not as obvious.
Well, I'd say a little less obvious, right?
My whole thing, I've had this take for like a while now. What is Zach Wilson like? How is the situation that Zach Wilson? How is it any different from what Sam Darnold went into like 3 or 4 years ago when he got drafted? It's still the same bad Jets team that has a bad offensive line and bad receiver core. It's not.
I mean, they picked up Corey Davis. Is that right?
Robbie Anderson when Sam Darnold was there. Like it's not that much different. You know what I mean? Like, look, Zach Wilson's a better prospect than Sam Darnold is. Of course, I'm not gonna debate that. But for a quarterback that needs time to develop, and you're going into a situation that really isn't going to help you out that much, you really need to temper your expectations for Zach Wilson. First year, maybe even second year. Like this guy, he's going to need a good offense. He's going to need a lot of time. I just don't know if the Jets is the right place for him, I guess.
Yeah, look, I think he's one of the biggest stats against, because I think there's so much going for all these guys, and we can talk about all the positive stuff about them all day. It's important to bring up the negative stuff because I think they're still rookies and they're still going to be new in the NFL. BYU played 2 ranked teams in the 2020 season, and they lost to one of them.
Yeah. I mean, like, people always say, oh, Trey Lance, his competition was very good. Zach Wilson's was fantastic. Like, he didn't face that great of teams either. Right. So There are definitely question marks surrounding Zach Wilson. I will say this: I don't think he should be the second quarterback off the board. That's
really.
I think that it should be Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Again, if I were New York, I would have held on to Sam Darnold to pick Penei Sewell and foregone a quarterback because of, like I said earlier, like taking a quarterback isn't really going to do that much good when, your situation isn't much different from what it was 3 years ago.
Right, but are they really in win now mode right now, though?
No, they're not. No, but I think like Quentin Nelson 3 years ago, he was like a surefire prospect. Like as an offensive guard, that guy, like you just knew he was going to be amazing. I think Penei Sewell's very similar to that. There are a few like generational talents in this class. I think he's one of them. And he's going to come in there and he's going to be able to just make an impact day one. And I think if you're the Jets, you need to have that cornerstone piece on a position that is very bad. So, like, it's not crazy to get Zach Wilson, but I would prefer Penei Sewell.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do think they're going to end up taking Zach Wilson. And honestly, I think it's a good call. Do I think Justin Fields is a more talented quarterback and more talented player, more athletic? Yeah, I do. But I understand the Zach Wilson call, and they're going to take him at 100%.
Also, a little disclaimer: we're picking based on what we think is going to happen, not what we would do.
Right.
Just a little disclaimer. I forgot to say this in the beginning, but very important piece.
Absolutely. A very highly contested third pick. A lot of talk is pretty much between Mac Jones or Justin Fields.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think the whole Mac Jones thing is a smokescreen. I think it's honestly just to talk another team into potentially trading up to like 4 or 5 for Justin Fields. Yeah. I think they're going to take Justin Fields. I mean, it's just...
I agree.
Why would you trade 3 first-round picks not for Justin Fields?
I mean, they're clearly picking a quarterback, obviously.
Yeah.
And you could see at Mac Jones's pro day, Kyle Shanahan was seen shaking his head.
Yeah, Belichick was too.
And Belichick was too at Mac Jones's performance about overthrowing a guy. And the 49ers know all about overthrowing guys when it matters most. Garoppolo, Super Bowl 54. Yep. So with that, I do think Justin Fields is going to go third. He's a great fit for that team, and they really are a quarterback away. A healthy 49ers team with a quarterback better than Jimmy Garoppolo, they're Super Bowl contenders.
And obviously, I think like 80% of our fan base is probably Patriots fans. So just to rope in the Patriots a little bit here, because we have to. If you are team Jimmy Garoppolo and you want him to be a Patriot, I think that if they take a quarterback, which is, I think they will, I think that means that Jimmy Garoppolo will stay in San Fran, because I think like
they want a guy to mentor him, back up.
Like you said,
if they ship Jimmy Garoppolo to New England or wherever he's going, and whatever guy they draft flops, they're screwed. They're screwed.
And more to your point about them being Super Bowl contenders, which like I don't know if I'm that high on them. Like that's a really competitive division.
How much different is this team from when they went to the Super Bowl in 2019?
I know, it's just
not crazy different.
It's not crazy different. It's not crazy to say they are Super Bowl contenders whatsoever. I just like you said, like you have this good of a roster. If you flop with Justin Fields or Trey Lance or Mac Jones, whoever you take at 3, you have no backup option. At least if they do flop, you have Garoppolo as a backup option, or you can start Garoppolo this year, go for the chip, and have your quarterback who you select learn from Jimmy this year. So the chances, I guess, of him flopping are a lot less. But yeah, like if I'm San Fran, I hate to say this as a Patriots fan, because, I'd like to see Jimmy under the right contract. If I'm San Fran, I'm holding on to Garoppolo.
Posing a question. Say Garoppolo stays and they draft Justin Fields. Who starts week 1?
I think it's still Garoppolo. I do think it's a competition in camp. I think whoever has the hot hand, like if Justin Fields comes out here and he's slinging the ball,
just slings during training camp,
I could definitely see him taking the start. But like,
the dude's talented. You know what I mean? Yeah. The dude's a stud.
But Kyle Shanahan's also known for for not like being very smart and
very conservative. I was just
conservative with his quarterbacks. Like even Jimmy Garoppolo, he sat him for the first 6 weeks of the season after the 49ers traded for him, just because he wanted him to get adjusted to the playbook and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they took a similar approach if they drafted a quarterback this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm totally with you. Just to wrap up the 49ers, I think it could either go Mac Jones or Justin Fields, but I think if the Niners were smart, they're close to having a very, very talented team. I think Justin Fields is the move.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, fourth pick will be the Atlanta Falcons. A lot of people think Kyle Pitts here. I don't know. I think this is a very deeply talented class for quarterbacks. I think it wouldn't be idiotic to take Trey Lance.
The best time to draft a quarterback is when you don't need one. And I love that saying, and I think it rings true right here. I think if Atlanta...
older.
Yeah, he's 36, I think. 36.
Oh, it's actually not as old as I thought he was, but still.
Yeah, but it's still, it's up there, you know?
It's a similar kind of Jimmy Garoppolo, Tom Brady-esque situation.
Yeah, I don't really see Matt Ryan as like a guy who's going to play into his 40s. So you probably only got 2, and he's not going to get better from here. So
I see him retiring at like 40, 41.
Yeah, like if I'm Atlanta in a quarterback heavy draft class where a team would be willing to trade 2, 3 first round picks, as we saw with the 49ers, to take a quarterback at number 4, you'd be stupid to take any other position. So assuming Atlanta holds on to the pick, I think the most likely team in the top 10 to trade would be the Falcons.
Absolutely.
I would take if they are taking a quarterback, because I don't want to make this too confusing. Be like, oh, who are they going to trade with? Let's just do no trades for this one.
Right.
I think they go Trey Lance. I think that Trey Lance is one of those players who he's not going to make an immediate impact year one. He's going to need time to develop. He has a lot of mechanical issues, but he's a guy who can learn from Matt Ryan, learn from that playbook, learn from the offense as a whole. And if he does get the start, he's going to have the best wide receiver duo in the NFL to throw the ball to, assuming Julio Jones is still playing at a high level. I think I think that Trey Lance is the right draft pick here, but what do you think, Pat?
Look, Trey Lance is a talented guy, definitely. But I think one of his best traits is just his general athleticism. I was just before this podcast, actually, I was just looking at film. The dude can fly, absolute, real gym rat, Mike. But I would say, not tested. But what I would say to that, the fact that he's not tested, but if he's drafted by the Falcons, he'll have time.
Yep.
Exactly. To, become tested and do all of these things. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So
who do you think they take? Who do you think the Falcons take?
Who do I think they're going to take? I think they're going to end up taking Kyle Pitts. I think at the end of the day, I think Pitts is the guy. The dude is, we were just talking about Trevor Lawrence being NFL ready. The guy is NFL ready. And I'm bold enough to say the guy is a generational talent. He's a stud.
I think there's a very good chance that Kyle Pitts will come into the league as a top 10 tight end.
Wow.
Like, before he even takes a snap.
Wow.
I mean, he's that good.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's insane.
And look, I got to say though, I don't think it'd be idiotic for the Falcons to take a defensive piece here. Their defense isn't great.
It wouldn't be idiotic whatsoever.
No, it'd be really smart, to be honest. Their offense already consists of, I know he's old, but Todd Gurley, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
So, I mean, their offense is already thick.
Still, I think this is a quarterback pick. Like, you pick a quarterback at number 4. Like, the Patriots would pick a quarterback at 4. I don't know, another team that would trade up, like Carolina or Denver, they'd pick quarterback at 4.
But are they thinking kind of the way the Cowboys did back when they took CeeDee Lamb, just best guy available?
Yeah, but you can do that at 15. I don't think you can do that at 4. You know what I mean? I think you are completely right in the sense of taking a defensive piece. But let's say they go Micah Parsons. Let's say they're really high on Micah Parsons. You can get Micah Parsons at 8 or 9. You know what I mean? You can probably swindle a first round pick for that and still get the guy that you're really high on. That's what the Patriots reportedly did last year with Kyle Duggar. They were going to pick Kyle Duggar at 23. Then they saw that like the draft, the way the draft was going, okay, he'll probably be there at 37, decided to trade out of it, and they got the same guy they wanted. So I think if the Falcons aren't going to take a quarterback, it wouldn't be crazy to take Kyle Pitts, but trade out of the pick.
Yeah, I'm with you. My official guess is Pitts. Yours?
I'm going to say Trey Lance is my official.
Trey Lance. All right. So next up, this is an interesting one. We have the Cincinnati Bengals. I think this could go in a lot of directions.
I
think they'd be stupid not to take somebody on the offensive line.
You gotta take Sewell. Have you seen the picture of Joe Burrow's knee?
Yes. Yep. That looked like my knee when I broke my leg. It's brutal. Yeah. A lot of people are going to say Jamar Chase. I really hope they don't. You gotta get that guy help. Joe Burrow is a great quarterback.
Did you see his knee? Like, you have to take Sewell. You have to. How do you not?
Mike, you'd hope so. And I really, look, I'm a Patriots fan through and through. I'm rooting for the Bengals here. Come on, just take the guy that's there. What's up?
I'm rooting for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I'm with you. Joe Burrow. Right. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yes. Well, look, obviously he's the best offensive lineman there. Just an absolute stud, athleticism, powerful.
But like the thing I've been seeing is like, oh, well, the Bengals don't need to take Sewell because he plays offensive tackle and they already have two good. It's like,
you can move him around, bro.
Move him around. Jonah Williams has time where he played right guard. Like, just you can move him around.
Offensive lineman can be very flexible. When a talent passes through and you are that desperate for that position, you are idiotic if you
look
don't.
At the Patriots offensive line. Joe Tooney played left tackle, left guard, and center. Michael Enu played right guard, left guard, and right tackle. Like
they move them all around the line where they
play everywhere. They play everywhere. Just Sewell is one of those guys you gotta take him.
And look, I'm no offensive line expert, but the line's the line.
Nor am I.
Block. You know, it's just like so. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think there's much debate here. I think they'd be smart to take Sewell, but God, if they take Jamar Chase, that'd be stupid. My official pick, Sewell.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sewell.
And actually, one thing that I did see was that Joe Burrow reportedly was saying like, "Go get Jamar Chase, like actually saying that." And then like a few weeks later, when they interviewed him again or something, he was like, I trust whoever the Bengals take, which makes me think that the Bengals talked to him and said like, hey, we're probably going to get Sewell. Well, like, just letting you know. God. And then Burrow afterwards was like, all right, you know, I trust whoever they take. That's what I think happened.
You really hope so, Mike, don't you?
I know. I really do.
God damn. All right. Next up, we have they got this pick a little bit ago, the Miami Dolphins. What do you think, Mike?
See, this is where I have Kyle Pitts going.
Interesting.
I think this would be a very, very interesting pick if
I don't know.
Yes.
It wouldn't surprise me. Did they already have Mike Gesicki, though?
I know. But Kyle Pitts is one of those players where he can play anywhere.
Oh, so, he's a glorified receiver. He's very like Travis Kelce.
Like, it's kind of a, morbid comparison, but he's very Aaron Hernandez-esque.
Yeah.
He can play H-back. He can play tight end. He can play slot receiver. He can play in a lot of different positions.
Right.
Hold on. Sorry.
It's all good. I'm just gonna cut there. It's fine. What were you just saying?
He can play a lot of different positions.
Go.
And he can play in a lot of different positions. So I just think like at number 6, that's not a crazy spot to take Kyle Pitts. And if you really believe in Tua and you still think he's the guy, which I still think Tua is the guy. If that's the case, you got Will Fuller in free agency. You still have Devontae Parker. You have Gesicki. Go get him another piece. Go, cement that offense, make it top 10, and try to go for the division.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I think they need to bolster that offense, definitely. A lot of people question if Tua is the answer or not. I agree with you that I do think Tua can be made into a solid quarterback in the NFL. A lot of people think, and I've seen this on boards, is what I'm saying, is that a lot of people think that this is where Justin Fields is going to end up. And they're going to ship away Tua. What do you think?
I don't know. I just...
first of all, I don't agree with that. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they should do that.
It just seems to me like I just don't think Tua got a fair shot last year. I think...
Yeah, I'm with you. They were switching in and out Fitzpatrick. They were working on different stuff, 100%.
No OTAs, no preseason. You're a rookie quarterback. You're getting placed in and out of the lineup. There was not one game last year where Myles Gaskin, Mike Gesicki, and Devontae Parker were all healthy. And all 3 of those players were put on IR at some point during the season. So not only was Tua, didn't have like a healthy offense, but he didn't even know the offense all that well. I think he needs a fair shot.
I'm with you. Yeah. But I think ultimately, once everything's said and done, I think for the Dolphins, I think I have Jamar Chase going here.
Jamar Chase. Okay.
I think. because I do think they need to bolster the offense as much as they can. I think if Kyle Pitts is there, I'm with you, Mike. I think they're gonna take Kyle Pitts, but I do have Kyle Pitts still going to the Falcons. I think Jamar Chase is the best receiver on the board. I think they take him.
That like you said earlier, that really reminds me of what the Cowboys did last year with CeeDee Lamb, where again, not a need. You already have Devontae Parker and
Mike
Will Fuller too. But you get him another weapon, and it worked. So.
And look, they sent off Fitzmagic to Washington. So, I mean, whatever quarterback they end up with, it's going to be a young one.
Yeah, exactly.
So might as well surround him with some sick talent, right?
Exactly.
I'm with you. My official pick, Jamar Chase.
Yep. I'll go Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. All right. Ooh, next up, the absolute dumpster fire of the NFL. Oh, boy. You start to feel bad for this team every year. Mike, it's the Detroit Lions. What do you think?
So I think this is honestly an easy pick for me because, I think so, because it just seems like a common sense one. You have Jared Goff, who is a top 5 paid quarterback in the NFL, as crazy as it sounds, and you don't have Kenny Golladay, and now you don't have Marvin Jones, and you literally have no one on the offense to throw the ball to. I think you go best available wide receiver. So in my case, I think it'd be Devontae. See, I don't know if Smith's the bet. Like, it's so tough. I'd probably say Waddle. I'd probably say is the best in the class. So I have them going Waddle. But I could definitely see them going Devontae Smith here. Definitely could see that. I have them going Waddle though.
I've gone back and forth on this. I have Waddle overall. Goff needs help. That entire organization needs help. It's a bridge quarterback. Do you see the Lions maybe taking a quarterback here? Maybe grabbing.
Definitely could see that.
Maybe they're just really not liking Goff, and they just want to get a rid, kind of have him as like a backup plan, and get a new guy in there and see what they can turn this team into.
Yeah.
Who's still available for me? For me at least. Yeah. I already. So Trevor Lawrence, maybe Mac Jones.
Pretty sure you have Trey Lance on the board still.
Yeah, Trey Lance I think is still on the board because yep.
Pretty sure Trey Lance on the board.
Nope. I said Trey Lance was going to the Falcons.
That's right.
Yep. I think Trey Lance was going to the Falcons.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see Trey Lance maybe going to the Lions, but overall, I think I still have Waddle. Best available.
I do too.
Waddle locked in. Waddle. Next pick. Ooh, I like this one. Denver Broncos. Do you think Jones goes here?
Mac Jones?
Yeah.
No, I think that their quarterback room is set with Darnold, which I think was a slight overpay.
No. Oh, no, you're right. I said the Broncos. What am I saying? It's the Panthers. Excuse me.
Panthers. Okay, Panthers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
They already got Darnold, already got Teddy B.
Yep.
I think they're fine in the quarterback room. I think I want to hear who you have going first. I might have to copy you here because I really don't know.
I mean, their offensive line is definitely bottom tier.
Yeah.
But Sewell's already gone. This one's tough.
It's such a tough.
Because ultimately I thought they were going to take quarterback, but they solved that. Sam Darnold. Do you think they're going to go off Sam Darnold?
They didn't solve it. They assessed it. That's the way I like to put it. So I don't think they go quarterback here. This is such a tough pick. This is such a tough one, in my opinion. I could definitely see Patrick Surtain going here. First cornerback off the board. I was
going to say they need corners.
Alabama.
Yep.
Definitely could see that. You know what? I'm going to say that. Every time I do a mock, this is the pick where I always get stuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Surtain goes 8 to the Panthers. That's
all right. Yeah. You know what? I'll join you. I'm looking at his stuff right now. Surtain. Athleticism, speed. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with you. To be honest, I don't know a ton about the guy, but just strictly based off of their needs, what they need to assess. They've assessed the quarterback. They've addressed the quarterback position.
Yep.
See how it works. Give them a try. I don't think that team really is in win now mode yet. They could be later.
I like the Panthers a lot this year. I do.
Really? I liked them last year, and they actually did better than expected.
They did. And their defense is young, like you were hyping them up to be. And they're still a young defense, but they're getting better. They remind me like the Colts a few years ago, where they had a very young defense, and now they're
like a top 5 defense.
Exactly. So I think that's going to be very similar with the Panthers, and I think the Panthers have a better offense than the Colts do. especially with McCaffrey coming back.
Mhm.
I don't think the loss of Curtis Samuel is going to be that big of a deal. Because I still like Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore.
Right.
And I think that if anything, McCaffrey's only going to take away touches from Samuel. So I like the Panthers and where they are. They just got to figure out their quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
and honestly, dude, Darnold was he wasn't given a fair chance.
He wasn't.
He wasn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, dude, he could break out. Wouldn't surprise me. Go off. I like Darnold. Yeah, but I'm with you on Surtain. Sealing that right up.
Yeah.
Now the Broncos.
Now we got the Broncos.
I really think Mac Jones could go here.
I believe in the whole 3-year deal, like the whole 3-year quarterback.
Give him 3 years.
You have to give him 3 years before you really decide what you're going to do. So this is Drew Lock's 3rd season. It's more of a gut thing for me. I think the Broncos are going to hold on to Drew Lock for another year. I think if they weren't, I feel like we would have heard more rumors about it. Yeah. It would have been more on Twitter. It would have
been just more lore in general.
Exactly. So I just feel like we haven't really been hearing a whole lot about it. So I'm going to say they go Micah Parsons, first defensive or second defender off the board.
But didn't you get Parsons before?
No, I didn't have Parsons going anywhere yet.
Oh, okay. Wait. So who'd you have going to the Panthers?
Panthers, I had Surtain.
Surtain. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So then they need linebackers.
Yeah.
At least coverage linebackers. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb are fine, but they need coverage guys. And Micah Parsons is a sideline tackler. That would put them into the top 7 defense arena.
Yeah.
Because the defense has gotten so good over the offseason.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll lock that in too. I'm with you.
All right.
The Dallas Cowboys. We made it to 10. Oh boy. You really hope they don't take an offensive player.
I know.
Please don't take an offensive player.
See, if I were the Cowboys and Kyle Pitts is there, I go Kyle Pitts. Personally.
Another offensive weapon, another best available draft, just like they did last year with CD.
I'm going to read to you.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Cowboys drafts. Okay.
Yeah, they take a ton of offensive players, they bolster the offense, and they lose.
No. That's not what they do. That's not what they do. Hold on. That's how they do. That's not my point. What they do is they draft really good on offense and really bad on defense, right? This is the first pick, not necessarily first round, but the first pick of every draft, right? CeeDee Lamb last year, great pick. Tristan Hill, the year before that. Who the hell is that guy? Leighton Vander Esch, fine, but he's been very hurt. Taco Charlton, bust. Zeke Elliott, pretty good. Right. Byron Jones took like 4 years to actually be good. He was awful. Zach Martin, probably one of the best guards in the NFL. Travis Frederick, best center in the NFL for a long time. Maurice Claiborne, defender. Who is that guy? Tyron Smith, one of the best tackles. Like Des Bryant the year before that. Like you see the trend. They draft offense so well and they draft awful on defense. So if Kyle Pitts is there, I go offense. I would love to go receiver here, but they legitimately don't need a receiver.
Right.
So because of that, I have J.C. Horn.
I was just looking at J.C. Horn. I like that call, Mike. Yeah.
If Kyle Pitts is there, they go Kyle Pitts. That's my little caveat.
Yep. I don't think Kyle Pitts falls that far. I really don't.
Exactly.
I doubt it. Yep. I like the J.C. Horn call. They need a linebacker. Dallas can't go another day without getting some kind of defensive help.
Yeah. So I like J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn, like it.
Second best cornerback, and he's solid.
Number 11 pick, New York Giants.
Giants get their prayers answered. They get Rashawn Slater, second best tackle. He's a lot of hype for him being the best tackle on the board. I don't think he is, but Slater seems like the guy. They need offensive line help, and their offensive tackles especially are bad. So Slater will definitely help. Now there are no excuses for Daniel Jones.
I was just gonna say that. I really don't think Sewell is gonna obviously fall this far. I think if the Bengals don't take him, will he fall?
Look on the draft board right now. If the Bengals don't take him,
Will any other teams take him? Is an offensive line really a need?
I could see the No, I could see the Dolphins taking him. The Lions.
Yeah, the Lions. Yeah, you're right.
Literally, Lions.
And just on a best available standpoint too. Yeah,
Dolphins, Panthers, and Broncos all need offensive line.
Rashawn Slater, I'm with you. Definitely. Yeah. Second threat, absolutely. Rashawn Slater. And I'm very with you on that Daniel Jones call. Nobody seems to love him. He has no more excuses. You gave him top 15, top 20 receiver. Is that bold to say about Kenny Allen?
No, I think it's a perfect way to put it. Top 20.
Top 20 receiver. A very good receiver. And they give you Saquon Barkley back, a solid defense, and a great offensive lineman. Second best on the board. No more excuses. If he screws it up this year, it's a him problem. Simple as that.
Great.
I'm with you 100% on Slater. Let's keep cranking. Philadelphia Eagles, what do you think?
See, I don't think they should go receiver here.
And this is where I see Devonta Smith going.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
I was just going to say that. I have Devonta Smith.
You had Devonta Smith go earlier. Or did you pick Waddle?
I said I'm between Waddle and Smith for the Lions.
I see.
I do think Devonta Smith goes 12 to the Eagles. Even though they picked Rager in the first round last year, I still think they go receiver. That's the most Eagles move in the entire world.
Yes, such an Eagles move, And I keep saying it, and it's simple, but it's true. Young quarterbacks need talent surrounded behind them. And look, this Eagles team seen better days. I can't believe 3 years ago they won the Super Bowl.
Seen better days. That's such a good way.
They've seen better days. Like this is not a good-looking team. I think they were smart. They surround their young quarterback, apparently that they're rallying around.
Yeah.
With weapons. Yeah,
I think so too. And they have to.
I think Devonta Smith, and you're so right. It's such an Eagles move. They're so gonna do it.
Zach Ertz and Alshon Jeffrey aren't gonna be here forever. So
that's right.
Lock in
Devonta Smith.
Yep.
Ooh, the Chargers. What an interesting team this season. What do you think, Mike?
This is really tough. Honestly, like I could see them going in a lot of different positions here. Wouldn't be surprised if they went Jamar Chase. He's still on my board because they have a lot of offensive help and weapons, but they lost Hunter Henry in free agency to where'd he go?
The Patriots. Yep, Patriots.
That's right. He went to the Patriots.
Right. I forgot about that.
So this is so tough. This is a really tough pick.
It is a tough one.
They still need help on the offensive line.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
One of the worst pass block win rates in the league. So I think Christian Darrisaw, I haven't seen a lot of his tape. Actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't seen any of his tape. But he's ranked the third best tackle on the board.
Third best tackle on the board.
Best available type deal, I think.
The Chargers are ranked overall the last ranked offensive line in the NFL. They need some help. And once again, a lot of young quarterbacks. There's the seasons are changing in the NFL right now. It's so sad. We're saying goodbye. In the next 5 years, we're probably going to be saying, I can't. You know what? I was going to say Tom Brady. He'll be here forever. He probably will be here.
In some form. Tom Brady.
Whatever. He'll make like a copy. I don't know. Whatever he's going to do. We said goodbye to Drew Brees. We're probably going to say goodbye to Matt Ryan. You know what I mean? Maybe Rodgers. Maybe Rodgers in 5 years. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not saying goodbye to Rodgers. He can leave.
A new era of new quarterbacks. Justin Herbert's clearly your guy. Had a stud year, rookie of the year. Protect them.
Yep.
Simple as that. I do like the Christian Darrisaw call. I'm with you. Next up, we have the Vikings, who I think are going to make a playoff run next year.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love that take. That is such a fun take. I love. I think this is kind of like matching. You know what I mean? Like you match the picture to the picture.
Right. He's gone, so this.
Yeah, so I see the Vikings need interior offensive line. So then I look at my board and I see, okay, the best interior offensive lineman is still here, Elijah Vera Tucker.
Yep.
So I have Elijah Vera Tucker going to the Vikings. Their offensive line was awful last year, 28th in the league. And so offensive tackle is very deep this year. Interior offensive line is one of the slimmest positions, but Vera Tucker is a standout guard. So I think that this is a very, very good pick for them.
Mike, I hate to be boring and agree with you, but I agree with you. I'm completely with you, man. They need the help there. Fourth best guy on the board. Plug it in the spots that you need. This team is already pretty solid. unless maybe they go for a guy in the defense and try to bring back that sick defense of like a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, nope. I'm with you. I'm completely with you.
They also have players who opted out last year and players who were injured last year coming back on the defensive side, like Danielle Hunter, who's a very good edge rusher. So I think they're fine on defense. I think they'll be good this year. Here we are.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Baby, let's go. New England Patriots. We made it to the 15th pick. What do we think? So far in our draft that we're doing, Mac Jones is still there. Mike, what do you think?
I'm going to reiterate what we said at the beginning of the podcast. We are picking these as we think it is going to happen rather than what we would do. So I think at 15, if the Patriots hadn't traded up to this point, which is a very big if, because there's a very good chance if they're sitting here at 15, I think they go Mac Jones. Don't love it, but I think they go Mac Jones at 15. If he's sitting there, I think they do.
Here's what I think. Me and Mike were talking about this before. The Patriots, and everybody has said that the Patriots are looking at a, quote, generational talent in the draft. Maybe that's just
offense.
Maybe that's just poppycock. Maybe that's all just noise.
We haven't heard a Pat dictionary word in so long.
Maybe it's poppycock. We don't even know. We don't know. Right? We don't know. But I think ultimately I'm with you. Once again, you have like you said, you got to differ what I think the Patriots are going to do and what I want the Patriots to do. I low-key want the Patriots. First of all, if Kyle Pitts is there, I think we take him. I don't think he's going to fall that far, but I think we take him if he's there. No, you know what? I changed my mind. I think they're going to take Mac Jones, and I want them to. I can't watch another season of Cam Newton.
Yeah, so the saying,
I can't do it.
Anyone but Cam.
Anyone but Cam. And then what's the DEF?
Or EFG, even effing Garoppolo.
Even effing Garoppolo, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, I'm with you. There's a lot of questions about Mac Jones. Is he just, an Alabama quarterback? What, Alabama quarterbacks do you know that turned out? Is he the next AJ McCarron? I really hope not. as a Patriots fan,
Mac Jones, I really don't. Like, as an NFL prospect, I don't like him. Just turn on just Alabama highlights, like Mac Jones highlights on YouTube. That's all I do whenever I watch these quarterbacks. It's so easy. Like it's really not that difficult. And it's very easy for me to say as I sit in my basement and get ready for my golf match tomorrow, to say that these are easy throws. But like from an NFL perspective of quarterbacks who are being drafted, like they're not difficult throws.
Right. And us standing at 5'11" and like 5'6", 5'7",
whatever I am. Yeah.
Yeah. We can throw nasty passes 50 yards down the field. Yeah. Look, Mac Jones, I think, is the guy. Bill was shaking his head at him. I don't know, but I think ultimately very similar. This is a deep class in general. I think at a lot of positions, I think they take him.
Yeah. And just to put it in perspective, Mac Jones's offense last year was throwing to Devontae Smith, who we already have drafted, Jalen Waddle, who we already have drafted, and Najee Harris, who might go at the end of the first round. So, like,
little Clyde Edwards-Helaire action.
3 first-round draft picks. Like, come on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Mac Jones.
I will say this. If they do draft him, don't be surprised if I talk myself into it.
I'm going to talk myself. I'm going to speak into existence. We're going to talk.
Kind of like right now, I'm slightly trying to talk myself into Cam Newton. I'm really trying to. It's hard.
ABC,
really
man.
Hard to do.
ABC.
It's so hard to do.
Put him in Cam.
It's so hard.
Come on. Stay strong, man. You hated him so much. Yeah. Patriots locked in. Mac Jones. I'm with you. Ooh, this is an interesting pick. Arizona Cardinals, a team that was, I think, slightly disappointing last year. I think they started out hot and they kind of fizzed out at the end. What do you think?
Cardinals is a very fun pick. I got Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is still on my board. I haven't seen any mock drafts having a receiver go to the Cardinals, but I think why not? Hopkins is a great receiver, but Larry Fitzgerald is not getting any younger. The guy's like 39 years old. And outside of Hopkins, they don't really have a whole lot of talent. I understand that, Kyler Murray is a weapon in itself, but you need more receivers than just DeAndre Hopkins. And I think that Jamar Chase would be a very good complement, the opposite of DeAndre Hopkins. And they assess the defensive agency. They brought in JJ Watt. I mean, I think that's enough to just justify an entire free agency.
I forgot about that. Watt is in there now.
Wow. Yeah. So I think in the draft, I think go offense the first round. I think that Jamar Chase, if he's there, which he is for me, I think he's a solid pick there.
I think I'm pronouncing this wrong. Zaveen Collins.
Oh, Zaven Collins. Yeah.
Zaven Collins. Yeah. Right? Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. They need a linebacker. It wouldn't surprise me if Rhode Island's own Kwity Paye goes here.
That is so cool.
Something I was about to say. Oh, it's so cool. Kwity, if you're watching this, it's so cool. I go to LaSalle. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of Bishop Hendricken, but put that aside for a sec. Rhodey strong. Let's go. That's so sick.
Really cool.
You
really
kicked our ass in the state championship like all 4 years you were there, but
that's so cool.
Welcome to the NFL first round. But ultimately, I do have Zaven Collins going. Strong linebacker, able to switch, change direction very quickly. He reminds me a lot of Isaiah Simmons, who I was very high on. He had like an okay year this year, but he's still developing, still working. I think he can end up being really good. Big Swiss Army knife. He can move around on the field. Very versatile. Is that right, Mike? Yeah. I got Collins going to the Cardinals. Locked in. Mike, what's your lock? Jamar Chase?
Yeah, I got Jamar Chase.
All right. Another disappointing team. We're like right in the kind of the middle of this. Like right in the team, like some 8-8 teams. The Las Vegas Raiders. What do you think?
So the Raiders suck at everything this offseason. So
they've kind of lost a lot of pieces.
Yeah, they lost Rodney Hudson, Gabe Jackson, another offensive lineman. I can't think of his name. They brought in Kenyon Drake for no reason. They lost Nelson Aguilar. They made a lot of really dumb moves. I think they make him a dumb move. I don't know what yet. What do you think?
I have Jaime Davis.
I don't know who that is.
He's a linebacker. The dude is just a juggernaut. Every pick I've done today, I try to watch just like a little bit of film on him just so I can get like a taste of like what the players kind of like a 1 minute, 2 minute kind of look. Mm-hmm. The dude is just huge. See what I mean? The dude is just an absolute
6'4".
Yeah, he's an absolute animal.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
Yeah, he's just an absolute juggernaut. I just see just an athletic guy in general. He's out of Kentucky. Great in man coverage, athleticism, explosiveness, all there. I got Davis going at 17.
I got Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma State. This is another guy. He's massive. He's 6'6", which would come in as the second tallest player in the NFL. Mm-hmm. It just reminds me of like Trent Brown. Trent Brown is the tallest offensive lineman. And they go for another tall offensive lineman. Literally the only reason.
Yeah.
That's really it.
All right. Next pick here. We're back around the horn to the Miami Dolphins with 2 first-round picks.
Yeah. Dolphins, it's such a tough pick.
It is.
But
because now we're at 18. So we're kind of in that weird fuzzy spot.
Yeah.
I
do have Rhode Island's very own
Kwity
Paye going to the Dolphins. They need pressure, and I think that they need to get pressure on Josh Allen in this division. So I think you go for that guy. Like remember the Steelers a few years ago, they drafted a linebacker in the first round, like for the Patriots, because that was the biggest threat in the AFC. You draft a position that can take down that threat, and that was the position that year. So I think they do something similar this year.
Yeah. I like the call. I don't have Kwity going just yet. I have, I'm going to butcher this name. I'm so sorry. Azeez Ojulari.
Yeah, he's probably the best edge.
I actually didn't do it that bad. Yeah, he's a great edge. He's out of Georgia, sophomore, just big explosiveness. He's rated at a 90 right now. His weaknesses right now are the ability to diagnose plays. So when you have a but and you're a rookie, I get it. But when you're going up against, I'd say a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and you're on the edge, diagnosing plays is kind of huge. Yep. So is that risky? I don't know. I still have him going at 18.
I still think Ojulari is the best edge rusher in the draft, in my opinion. I think he's the most explosive at getting to the quarterback. I just think the Dolphins are a more conservative team. Like in years past, they just don't really draft guys who
wow.
Like Tua wasn't a wow player, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think they go for the more safe pick. I think Kwity Paye is the more safe pick.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm locking in my guy. I like the call. Locked in. All right. Next up, we have the Washington football team at 7-9 this year. What do you think?
I really, really like Rashad Bateman, and I think this is a great spot for Washington to take him. That's a very young offense. Very young young defense, excuse me. And I think the defense is going to take time to develop, and it's going to be just fine. You don't need to spend a first rounder on defense. You got Chase Young last year, the number 2 pick. Rashad Bateman has a real case to be the best receiver in the draft. He's going to be a dark horse pick. He's going to go later in the first round. I think Chicago is a really good, Washington's a good place for him because Curtis Samuel's going to be your slot guy. Terry McLaurin's going to be your number 1. You need a guy opposite of McLaurin. Rashad Bateman can be that guy. And if you really are going all in on this division, you think Fitzpatrick can get you 1 year of top 15 quarterback level, get your receiver for the future. I love Rashad Bateman.
I like the Bateman call. I don't think you have much of a leg to stand on when you say Rashad Bateman is the highest ranked wide receiver in this draft.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that. Mm-hmm. I think he's definitely one of the best here. It says here that his best trait is elusiveness. And I think obviously that's great when your quarterback is a 50-year-old redhead. So that definitely would be helpful. I don't know what the Bears are doing with Andy Dalton. Any idea there?
Yeah.
Poor move. I don't know. All they do is recycle quarterbacks. Honestly, they already pronounced him as QB1, which I think is stupid. They should get a quarterback in the draft. They should trade up. They should honestly trade up. They should do it. All right. Yeah, I'm with you on the Rashad Bateman, though, thing. Surround Fitzmagic with somebody or Heineke with somebody. What do you think about Heineke?
I don't know. I mean, it's Caleb Heineke or Taylor Heineke. I don't know. I don't know. I think he's a backup.
Yeah, I'm with you. Regardless, Fitzmagic is in there. I do like Rashad Bateman. Next up, we got the Chicago Bears. What do you think, Mike?
This is another really weird pick. I don't know. I think they should go offense here. But to this point, I think a lot of the mid-round picks, like this 20 to 30 range, I guess mid to late, it's very defensive heavy. And I think that the Chicago's just going to, if they opt to just keep their pick and not trade out, they're just going to have to follow the defensive trends. And I think you lost Kyle Fuller in free agency. You need a cornerback or at least some sort of secondary player. And I think, Trevon Moehrig is the best safety in the draft, but he's not going to go until a little bit later. I think Caleb Farley is probably the pick at 20.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's how I feel. When you have, I can't believe I'm saying this, but when your divisional rival, when it comes to the two best teams in the NFC least, the Washington football team, and I would say the New York Giants, their biggest problem when playing the Giants is the Giants have an up-and-coming defense. What better way to stop an up-and-coming defense is throwing in a draft pick on the offensive line?
Yeah.
That's the only way I think about it. That's pretty much their only competition. I do not see the Cowboys playing well, and the Eagles are going to be an absolute dumpster fire. So I'm completely with you. I do have who'd you have? Jenkins?
Farley.
Caleb Farley, excuse me. Yeah, I have Farley. No, I might change you on that. I don't think so. I think I'm going to change my call on that.
Who do you have, Horn? Or different position all in general?
I don't know. No, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Farley might be a good move. Yeah, out of Virginia Tech.
I just think they lost Caleb. Not Caleb. My God, they lost Kyle Fuller. They need a cornerback.
You're right. Yeah,
or at least something.
Farley, fill the spots that you need. All right. Next up is the Indianapolis Colts. We've been in playoff territory, but we are now in deep playoff. They lost first round, but we got better teams on the way. Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, so I think the Colts would be blessed if Rashad Bateman were to fall to them.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, but he didn't. So we gotta assess. The Colts, they need cornerback. The last 2 picks were receiver and cornerback.
Yep.
Which is the 2 positions that I would have them going. They also need another edge rusher, and for me, Azeez Ojulari is the best on the board. I think that he'd be a steal at number 21 for them. So I think that's just a simple pick to me.
And who'd you have? Say that again.
Azeez Ojulari.
All right. I like the call. I think they need a corner. I'm taking Greg Newsome Jr. or the second. Fluid hips is one of his best traits. I think it's a good spot for this Chicago defense. It was once, they got Khalil Mack, obviously, stud guy. They can bolster this defense. Part of me thinks they should grab somebody on offense. Like, part of me thinks that if Rashad Bateman is there, they should grab Rashad Bateman, get Andy Dalton some pieces besides Allen Robinson.
You mean for the Colts, right?
What's that?
You mean for the Colts, right?
Excuse me. Yeah. I said Andy Dalton. I mean Carson Wentz, excuse me.
Yeah, Wentz.
So yeah, get Wentz, because Wentz is still kind of an unknown right now. So I mean, is he gonna play well? Is he not? Get him that piece, because that defense on the Colts is already sick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's already a great
what
like you said, was once a young defense that is now really on its way up. Call him top 5.
Top 5 it's a little strong. I still
put him at like 7.
Yeah, I'd say like 7 or 8. I'd say for the Colts. Still
Talented.
like a fantastic defense.
Yep, I'm with you. That's my call.
Love it.
Next up here is Tennessee Titans. What do you think?
Another team where I really don't think they had a good offseason.
No, they did not.
Adam Humphries, Corey Davis, and Jonnu Smith. Where'd Smith go? I keep forgetting. Where'd Jonnu go?
Oh, the Patriots. The
Patriots. That's right. Patriots. So they got Bud Dupree in free agencies. They assessed the linebacker position. I think they could definitely go secondary, because there's no one on offense. They're not going to go running back. They already have that. And the top 4 receivers are off the board. So I think the smartest pick would be to go secondary, because they lost to Dory Jackson. So it's really close between Greg Newsome and Trevon Moehrig. Honestly, it just depends on what position they value higher, or what position is more of a need for them, cornerback or safety. For me, not knowing the Titans all that well, and honestly not knowing both of the prospects all that well, I'm just going to flip a coin. I'm going to go Greg Newsome. But honestly, it's flipping a coin.
Kwity Paye. I have Kwity Paye going. I know they added Bud Dupree. I know they need something a little bit more. When you're playing, when I think of the some could argue the Browns, but when I think of the 2 best teams in the AFC, it's the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Knock the quarterback down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Simple as that. I know the Titans took a little bit of a dip this year. They're gonna need some firepower.
Yep.
I've seen Kwity Paye play in person. In person, I've seen him play.
Yep, at the high school level.
That's right, at the high school level. A lot of people say that's where you peak. So, we'll see what happens with Kwity. I do have Rhode Island's own Kwity Paye going to the Tennessee Titans. Next up is the New York Jets. What do you think? What do you think?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, again, like the Jets need so many positions.
I'm about to say there's so many problems here.
You really can't go wrong in any position, I guess. I will say Najee Harris feels like the pick here. They need a running back.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't feel great about it.
Dude, their defense is terrible.
I know. It's really
no. Bad. They got to take a defensive piece, right?
You'd think. You definitely think. But like, here's the thing: their front 7 is actually like pretty good. Like they're gonna have CJ Mosley back. They have Quinn.
Yeah, their front 7 to their secondary. I got them taking Asante Samuel Jr. from Florida State.
See, my top 4 on the board are edge, linebacker, interior defense, and linebacker. Like, they don't need any of that.
Yeah.
And then you got a few tackles. Najee Harris is the best on the board. I don't like it.
I don't think he's going. I think that defense is so astronomically terrible. I think you take Asante Samuel. I think you need help on the secondary. And a starting point for the Jets, something to build off of. Just anything in the world.
Their safety's fine. They have Marcus May in the safety too.
Not a great secondary in New York. What's your lock?
I don't know. This is
lock it up. Come on. If the call's Najee Harris, just take it.
You know what? I'm gonna go Elijah Moore. I think the
Elijah Moore, okay.
I think they need receiver. I know they got Corey Davis, but I still think receivers a need for this team. I think Elijah Moore it's a reach. It's definitely a reach, but it's very Jetsy to me. Just seems like
it really is Jetsy. I completely agree with you. My lock still is Asante Samuel. Locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to take such a dive this year. They're going to be awful. Not awful, but not good. What do you think?
Here is where I have Najee Harris.
I was just going to say they lost James Conner. Yep.
Yeah. They needed a running back even with James Conner.
I wasn't going to say it, but that's why I didn't take him going to the Jets.
That's the only reason I didn't. I just thought it was a better fit.
Yep.
Again, in the NFL draft, I don't think teams really care about other teams and how it fits well. But
not really. But
for our little mock draft, we want to make it look pretty. So I think that Najee Harris would be a pretty solid pick. No, I don't think he would actually. You know what? I don't think he would. I don't like running backs going in the first round.
No, I think it's a solid pick. I think he's dope.
I think it's a position of need, but I think you can get a good running back in the second round too.
So do you take it?
I'm gonna go Najee. I still again. We're doing what we think's gonna happen. What we think's gonna happen. So I think.
Okay, so what you think? Yeah. Honestly, I'm fine with both. I think it's a smart move, and that's who I am. Najee Harris going to the Steelers. They're gonna do terrible next year. Sorry. Yeah. Jacksonville Jaguars at 25. What do you think? They could go a lot of ways. Once again, obviously they're rebuilding. They made the AFC Championship in 2017. We all forget about that. Saxonville. Do they try to bring Saxonville back? Do they try to reassemble that sick defense? Or do you surround Trevor Lawrence with a receiver? Grab a guy like Moore.
Yeah. I already had Moore come off my board, but
he hasn't come off mine. I think I might snag him.
Trevon Moehrigg's the best safety in the class. They need secondary. I'm going to go Moehrig. It's one of those things, like, you need the position, you go get the position. So that's what I have.
Look, and with the team that they don't have a ton to work with, they're not like rock bottom, though. I wouldn't call them a rock bottom team. They're not, they got some teams. They're not like the Jets. They're not doing terrible. Yeah.
Also young,
Very young. Like a guy like Chark, obviously not a stud, but not terrible. I got Rondale Moore going from Purdue. Solid guy. Definitely not the top receiver on the board. It's a young guy. Throw him in with Trevor Lawrence. See what happens. That's my call.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, we have the Cleveland Browns at 11-5 last season. What do you think, Mike?
So Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah might be the best linebacker in the draft over Parsons when it comes to just like actual NFL intangibles rather than just talent. Like, he might be the best. 26 would be falling so far for this guy, but I could definitely see him going 26. I think that'd be a steal for them, and that might put them in like the top 7, top 10 defense range if they get him. Honestly,
yeah. I'm with you. I'm usually not with you, but I'm with you. Yeah. I mean, why not? Your offense finally seems to be driving in the right way that you want it to.
Yeah.
Guess what weapons on the defense? You already got Myles Garrett in there. Keep pumping it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude seems pretty good. Passes the eye check. He's from Notre Dame. Come on. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. Absolutely. Yep. Sign him up. Like it. Next up, Baltimore Ravens. 27.
So at 27, they lost Matt Judon. Where did Judon go? Is blanking on this. Where did Judon go?
Let's see. Oh, he went to the Patriots, didn't he?
Patriots. I knew he went to the AFC East. I couldn't think of the team. Yeah, he went to the Patriots, right. So they lost Yannick Ngakoue and Matt Judon, both players in the front 7. edge is front seven in general is a need for this team. I think Baltimore is also in a spot where they can be a little risky at the 27 pick because their defense isn't going to be very reliant on a first round draft pick. They're already gonna be top 10. So Jalen Phillips didn't play his senior. No, sorry, he did play his senior year. He wasn't healthy for a lot of it. He is very explosive. I mean, this guy's like a freak. This guy's insane. I have Phillips going 27 to the Ravens. Could be very good. Again, could also flop. Has a very large range when it comes to, his possible output of production. But I think the Ravens can afford the, home run shot. And I think he could be it.
Couldn't disagree with you more. I think the Ravens are literally stupid if they do not take a wide receiver. Stupid. Literally idiotic. I think right here you got to take Kadarius Toney out of Florida. I really think, look, I get it. He's like the sixth receiver to go in our draft. Get Trevor Lawrence somebody besides Hollywood Brown. Yeah, get him somebody besides Hollywood Brown. Who'd they get? Sammy Watkins?
Yep. So, yeah, they got Watkins.
And Watkins.
Yeah.
Two, I think, even below serviceable guys.
Yeah.
Get him somebody. He's a great quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback. Get him somebody to throw to. Kadarius Toney.
Yep.
Line him up.
I agree.
Next up, at 28, the New Orleans Saints. They're going to be so bad. Not bad. I'm so dramatic whenever I say
it. Yeah, they'll still be second, third in the division. Are the Panthers going to beat them out?
Second.
Yeah, it's still Sean Payton at the coach. I think Zaven Collins. They need linebacker. They lost Quan Alexander in free agency, little cap casualty. So I think they replace him. And Zaven Collins kind of falls on my board a little bit. Probably would go 18 to 23, I'd say. Falls a little bit, but I think he's a solid pick. Probably the third best linebacker on the board. Third best in the draft.
I like the linebacker call. I already have him gone, so I have them taking Caleb Farley here, corner out of Virginia Tech. Lot of medical concerns, and that's why a lot of people have him falling this far. I think there's not much else you can do on that offense. You got a great running back in Alvin Kamara. You got to try out either Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, and you have Slant Boy. So, I see them trying to jack up their secondary as much as they can. I got Caleb Farley on. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers at 13-3 last season. What do you think?
I mean, none of us know what this team is going to do. This team is such a... I mean, they can go in so many different directions.
Yeah,
here.
They really can.
They might go running back. For a team that doesn't need a running back at all, right. They can definitely go running back.
Do you see them finally getting Rodgers' help? The whole get me help last season. Nah, screw you. We're to draft your replacement. Okay, I'm going to go win the MVP. Now reward me.
Yeah, exactly. Too bad there's no receivers on the board to really reward him with.
Right.
That's the only problem. So
if Kadarius Toney falls and the Ravens don't take him, I think it'd be a great pick, but I already took him.
Yeah. I was saying earlier how interior offensive line is a position that's very slim. Same thing on the other end. The interior defensive line is also very slim. Christian Barmore very well could be a top 15 pick.
Is he still there for you?
All the way to 29. So Barmore, the Packers had a lot of difficulty forcing pressure on Brady last year during the NFC Championship. Could definitely see that happening again. So I think Barmore would be very solid. Not only just stopping the run, but he's also very good at creating pressure at Alabama. So I think that I don't know a whole lot about the guy, but I think that transferred to the NFL. So I think he'd be a solid pick at 29.
Ask and you shall receive. I think Rodgers needs a receiver. And no matter how many have been taken, I think you got to grab something. They're already a solid team. I think they take Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss.
I haven't gone earlier. Yeah.
Yep. I haven't taken them yet. I think they need to add. Just keep adding. You're already a solid team. Keep adding. Give Rodgers the help that he wanted and the help that he deserves. Elijah Moore.
I agree.
Cool. 30, Buffalo Bills. 13-3 last season.
This is a really tough pick.
I don't see them not taking a corner.
Corner, you think?
I think they're taking a corner.
See, I don't really have any corners on the board who I think would warrant a first round pick.
You're right.
I'm really just gonna go with a position that I think would go in the first round. I'm gonna go Jason Elway, out of Penn State. I don't know a whole lot about the guy. All I know is he's very good at creating pressure, and that's something that the Bills again last year were not very good at. They only pressured, I think it was like 24th or 25th in the NFL. And I like, of course, I like secondary definitely a need. I just think they can assess it later in the draft, and I don't think there are any positions in the secondary that they need right now. So I am going edge.
Yeah, I like the call. Once again, I'm so sorry. I'm going to butcher your name. I have Afitu Melifonwu.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He's out of Syracuse. Buffalo needs size in the secondary. He's explosive. Stays in phase is his best trait. Excels on deep balls. Why not try to stop that up-and-coming Patriots offense? Huh?
Imagine that.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
I know.
It's
very exciting. I
know.
Yep.
I got Melifonwu going at 30. 31, wrapping it up. We got the Kansas City Chiefs 14-2.
Speaking of the we have 31. We got the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, is it the Ravens?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is the Ravens. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're good. Speaking of the Ravens, though, because that trade with Orlando Brown, what do you think about that? It was Orlando Brown and
No, I know what the trade was.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't like. I think just from like a player perspective, I mean he's good, not great.
Yeah.
But my whole thing, like I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I know offensive tackles so well, but I don't. Why, if you're the Ravens, right, and you think you can compete, why would you trade a position of need to the defending AFC champions?
Right.
That just doesn't make much sense to me. That's like, it's like paying a rich guy money like for nothing.
So do you go fill that spot? Do you go fill that spot in the draft?
No, I don't.
I think they could use some protection on the offensive line.
They can. You know what? I'm gonna go Alex Leatherwood here. I think Leatherwood's probably a solid pick. I just don't, or maybe Samuel Cosmi. Damn, I already picked Leatherwood. I like Cosmi more actually. I'm gonna go Samuel Cosmi. Very big tackle, very large. And I think he'd be very solid. They need interior offensive line, but they can move guys around on that line.
Yeah. I like the call.
A lot last
offensive lineman Landon Dickerson out of Alabama. I got going to the Ravens. They can't, if you give Trust time, he can get stuff done. Give him some time. Give him a big guy, a big meat and potatoes guy in there. Fill those gaps, bro. He'll cook.
Yep.
And now, down to the last pick, we have the defending Super Bowl champions, Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike, what do we think?
I got an interesting pick. I've been thinking about this for a while. I got Terrence Marshall. So receiver out of LSU.
Receiver.
Yeah. So my whole thought with this is, they have Chris Godwin on a franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Brown. We have no idea where this guy's going to be. And Mike Evans, he's here for the long run. But again, Mike Evans isn't just going to be like here forever. So I think you need to get a future piece at the receiver position. I think, they don't really need any other positions. I mean, they're honestly, they're fine. Mm-hmm. So they can work for depth. And I think Terrence Marshall would be a very solid pick for them at number 32.
For me, I know Tom Brady is timeless. He's ageless. He doesn't. No, I'm not picking a quarterback. He's timeless. The dude will never retire. He's gonna win about 15 more before we're like 50, right? He's still old. Why not get him even more protection? You have every single position. Like you said, they brought back every single starting player. on the offense and defense.
Just so, oh my God.
Why not get him more protection? I got Alex Leatherwood going last. He's from Alabama. I think it's a good call here. He represents the future of what this draft is, in the sense that, lineman went, he's still there.
Yeah.
He's a solid guy. He's out of Bama. Give Brady protection. The guy can cook, as we've learned. He doesn't do too hot under pressure, and that's why he had one of the best offensive lines in the league, and he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I like the pick, and I think it's kind of funny that you and I are both going offense on this pick, on an offense where like they really don't need a whole lot of help.
Right.
But yeah, it just this team is already so good that you got to go for depth, and those are two positions that you need to kind of facilitate those positions very frequently. Yeah, I like both picks.
Yeah. Mike, that just about wraps up the mock draft. Look, we're in for a lot of exciting stuff. Will Mac Jones go to New England? Will Trevor Lawrence get picked first? He's getting picked first. It's going to be awesome. Me and Mike, we're chilling at his house to watch the draft. Finally, last year we were all shackled up during COVID. Yep. Finally, I can eat some wings with the homies. Enjoy the Patriots. Maybe get their future quarterback. Watch the Jets blow their pick once again.
Maybe out of the first round.
That's right. Yeah, honestly, that's a disclaimer before we end this podcast. They might trade out of it. They really might.
Yeah, that's the one. I felt so boring saying that last year. I was like, guys, we're gonna trade out. I felt so boring, but it's like it's such a Patriots thing, Yeah, I got him doing it.
Look, we're in for an exciting year, an exciting draft, and an exciting season 3 at the 4-1 podcast.
Oh, what a great
I am Pat Daly signing off.
I am Michael Quattramani signing off.
This is the 4-1 podcast, and we will see you next time. Let's go! Woo-hoo! Very nice.
Good stuff.
Great work, Mike.